Welcome back to Monday Mixed Plate. Today I thought I would show you a little bit more around Volcano National Park. I'll probably do that for one or two more Mondays, and then I thought I would tell you about this book written by a friend of mine called Follow That Arrow. It's actually going to be a very bookish week on And the Color Green. I have another book review coming up on Wednesday. It's a green beauty book called Content Beauty by Imelda Burke, so tune in for that one. So I want to just tell you, going to the Big Island is always a fun / spiritual experience for me. We spent a lot of time there when I was a kid. My husband and I lived over there for 2 years. While I was living over there, I met my friend Gwen. We were both working at a coffee shop. We would work nights. It was slow. We would invent Irish river dances to be performed in the area behind the cash register, and we just had a ton of fun together, and we've stayed friends this whole time. While I was on the Big Island, I was just thinking about so many memories and so many people, and one thing that kind of sparked in my mind was that my dad would draw these arrows on the paths when we were hiking when I was a kid, and we did that with my nieces and nephews while we were over on the Big Island this past weekend, and it just made me think of this book, and I thought, what better time to tell you guys about it. Since she is a friend of mine, of course I'm going to say it's excellent, but I want to tell you a little bit what it's about, because I think it has a very universal theme, even though it is her personal autobiography of some events that took place in her life. So let me show you a little bit more about around the Big Island. Let's go hike a little bit, and then we'll talk about Follow That Arrow. So the book begins around Thanksgiving time. We find Gwen as she's learned that her husband has been unfaithful to her. They are splitting up. She's living on the Big Island at the time, where she's lived for the past 4 or 5 years. She has her whole life there, her career, her friends, and her whole world falls apart. She packs it all up in her car and takes off east. She travels across the United States in her car and then flies to Spain to walk the Camino de Santiago. If you've never heard about that, it's a pilgrim's walk. It is I believe it's the Catholic faith. You start from the edge of Spain and you walk all the way to the coast. We follow Gwen as she goes through a series of personal challenges and growth, as well as reading descriptions of the Camino de Santiago, hearing about a special boy she meets, and just basically walking with her as she takes this journey. The title, Follow That Arrow, comes from following the yellow arrows that are on the path of the Camino de Santiago. So this book is available on Amazon. It's inexpensive, $15. It's a memoir travel book. What I like about it is how raw Gwen is within the book. She is very honest that she's an imperfect person, and she is very reflective on the challenges that she's facing, kind of what happens when your whole world falls apart. It's a very short book. It's a very easy read. It would be perfect if you were going on a long plane ride or you were going on vacation. Storytelling wise, it's very intriguing. You know, as she was writing the book, she would send me and a couple of other people chapters, and it was funny, one day I was driving in the car and I was thinking to myself, I forgot that it was her book, and I was like, man, what's gonna happen to that girl? And then I laughed because I was like, you know what happens to that girl, she's your friend. So that was how caught up I got in her storytelling process. I want to read the last page of the book, in which she says, "And I let her go, that woman that I was not. With that last sunset at the end of the world, I accepted that life would never be the same. Going back wasn't an option, and now I knew it never was. It was time to move forward into the unknown, more vast and deep than the ocean in front of me, this time without arrows to follow. That is just a perfect example of her writing style. It's very, in some ways it's a little bit whimsical, in my opinion, and yet with a dose of common sense. So reading her descriptions of Spain, of the food, of the beauty, it's just a treat. So I highly recommend this book, guys. This is the first book that she wrote, and I just am so proud of her for taking pretty much something that we all hope we never go through, or something that some of us have gone through, a personal tragedy where your whole life falls apart, where somebody that you trusted betrayed you. And then she took that and turned it into something positive and turned her life around and took it back. If you like supporting independent artists, she self-published the book. Well, I will just tell you right now, it's fantastic. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.